G'day guys and welcome back. I'm Rosini16 and I'm here today to bring you episode 12 of Gunning for Glory. We had a very good last episode and we acquired the new player, which was Mertesacker. Although I wish we would have clenched the title in the last episode, so I would have been able to buy Koscielny instead, because I really can't stand Mertesacker's pace. But we're going to have to put up with it for the time being and look to get him in the future. Now, I've already rested my team so we can jump straight into a game. We're going to come against this nice 100 Chem BPL side. Although I was a bit surprised that Giroud was in there. He's not a good striker at all, so I was hoping this guy didn't really know what he was doing. But we're going to jump into the highlights and hopefully we can get the win, which will give us the title and a heap of extra money. Jumping into the game, and he was everything I expected to be just from seeing his team lineup. He had an interesting mix of players which didn't really seem to go with the way that you play this kind of FIFA, but he obviously didn't really know what he was doing a whole lot. He was very easy to manipulate and easy to run around and score, and his attacking pressure was pretty much non-existent. We get a nice easy tramp there, although I hate to be sweaty and tramp. I'm going to do anything I can to win in this series, because otherwise it's going to make for a tough series if we keep losing and not getting anywhere, seeing as the goal is to actually win the division. But we're very dominant, we're very controlling of the game. I was never really worried or felt under pressure. Considering it is only Div 7, I expected a lot better than what we got. Just simple skill moves, which was kind of funny because I don't really have any high star skillers in this side except for Oxlade-Chamberlain. I was still skilling him like in that highlight there, and it was just kind of sad, but I'll take an easy win. It's better than a loss or an intense game because I don't have to worry too much. But we're just going to go into half time. And as you will see from the stats, it was very dominant my way. He didn't have a whole lot of possession nor shots, and it wasn't very threatening. But we're going to jump into the second half and hopefully get a couple more goals and really seal this promotion win. The second half didn't really show any better signs of that he was going to come back or be any kind of threat. So I kind of just mucked around. I knew even though we're only 2-0 up, we had a grip on this game that I didn't think we were going to lose, so I was just mucking around trying to get some nice goals in to obviously show you guys, but kind of worried if this is as easy as it's going to be. I reckon there'll be a big jump up starting in the next division, because I feel like it'll be like in the other FIFAs, especially when they only had 5 divisions, it was the Division 3 to Division 2 jump that was the big jump, and I feel like this one and then the Division 5 will be the big jumps in this FIFA, and I'm kind of worried, but we'll take a nice easy win if we're about to get some rough games ahead, and I'm not going to complain. But I did mainly want to get this win so we could get all the coin bonus so that I could actually buy Koscielny, because Mertesacker was really frustrating in defence, although this guy didn't have a lot of attacking pressure, although he does get a goal here. It was very frustrating trying to play with Mertesacker. Pretty much as soon as someone got around him or just ran past, like with other defenders, there's always a chance you're going to catch up, because I feel like it slows down the striker a little bit and gives the defender a chance, where with him you just had no chance. You could hold the sprint button all day long and it just seriously felt like he was just doing a normal jog. But although he does get a goal back, we do steal the win away. There was never really any doubt. I probably slackened off a bit, which did enable him to get that goal, but we're going to get the win either way, which means we are going to get the promotion. Now, as we are progressing through this series rather quickly, I was thinking of maybe doing a draft with this team, like this account, when I get to Division 5, because it's about midpoint. Because eventually it's going to get to a point where the players for Arsenal are going to be really expensive, because I'm either going to have to get the likes of Sanchez or Informs to improve it. So I think the only chance we're going to have of getting those real big coins are the draft. So I'm going to do that once we get to Division 5. But getting to the end of this game, you can see that we had control of the whole game. There's never really any doubt. And we do get that 5,000 coin bonus for winning the title, which means we have gone every season with winning a title. And so far we've only got 1 loss to our name, which is pretty darn impressive. But eventually we will start losing, and hopefully it's later rather than sooner. But you never know in FIFA. Sometimes you just get a really shitty game and you're going to lose, and then of course we're going to come up against stronger opponents. And I found whenever I have Oxlade-Chamberlain out, I really struggle. So I need to get some more key players in like that as well, who I don't have to worry about playing a game without Oxlade-Chamberlain, which unfortunately is something we're going to have to do in this game, which I'm not looking forward to, because whenever I play without him, my team seems to feel like they're really quite bad and can't do a whole lot. And I don't know, I'm just a skill-based player, and losing my best skiller always seems to hurt. So I hate doing it, but I'm going to have to do it to get him rested up. Otherwise we could risk injuries, or even worse, missing him for even more games. Jumping into the final game of the episode, we come up against this absolutely insane team. Now this is a team that I would expect to see in Division 1. This is definitely the best team we have ever come up against in this series, and it is mental. Now, kind of felt good about this game because I figured, hey, he's in Division 7 and he's got a team like that. Must mean that he's one of them people that has a good team but doesn't really know how to use them or play with them. But unfortunately that wasn't the case. This was an intense game. Easily one of the most difficult and frustrating games I've played in this, no, definitely the most in this series so far. We conceded a couple of cheap goals like that one, nothing I can do to stop it, but good shot, can't take anything away from it. Van Nistelrooy is never going to miss from there. But it was just so frustrating. There was many swear words said, and I threw my controller several times in this. I was getting really aggressive. It was very frustrating. My strikers and midfielders just could not get their way through his defense. They were just so strong, and he knew which way I was going every time. And as you can see by the stats, I deserve to be losing. He is all over me and absolutely tearing me apart. Hopefully this second half can bring me a lot better fortune. Otherwise we're going to get our second loss. We jump into the second half and we do get a pretty good break, not too far into it. I was ahead with Ramsey and thought that I had enough time, but he caught up to me. Luckily I did a dummy shot and he took me down Boateng, giving me a penalty. Now, don't think I've missed a penalty so far in this series. I'm pretty good at getting it close to the corner, or close enough to that it's going to be difficult to save. So we do actually get this one home and make it 1-1. Now, from this point onwards, I hadn't had many opportunities, but from now to the end of the game, I had a lot more opportunities. I definitely felt like I should have won the game. This is when I started getting really frustrated, because I didn't mind before because he genuinely was a better player, but I started to really dominate him, and he gets just one break there towards the end of the game and there was no coming back. I was very angry. I felt like I didn't deserve that loss, but as I said, EA screws you over sometimes, or sometimes you just come up against a good opponent and there's just nothing you can do, especially when you're missing your best player. But that is going to bring the game to a close, and we do get our second loss. As you can see by the fact sheet, match facts, you can see that I had a very dominant second half. I definitely came back. Probably may not have deserved the win based on the stats, but in game it felt like I had a lot more control and a lot more better opportunities than he did, like one-on-one with the keeper. But for this episode we're going to go ahead and buy Walcott. I was going to go with Koscielny, but I was getting frustrated with the fact that whenever I sub Oxlade-Chamberlain off to get some rest, I really struggle, and I need another powerhouse midfielder which I can move to striker if Welbeck's being bad, and that happened to be Theo Walcott. Now we managed to pick him up for around 5.5k I think, so we got him pretty cheap, but he'll be a great new addition which we need because I'm struggling with Welbeck. He seems to not really be performing that well for me, so hopefully he can bring us in. And obviously I'm going to try and gun for Koscielny next because we really need to tighten up that defence before going into the midfield and getting people with the likes of Santi Cazorla and that. But unfortunately that is going to bring episode 12 to a close. I'm just going to touch up the team, make sure fitness is good for next time, but that is going to complete episode 12. So thanks very much for coming along and watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your day.